1, 2. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for being here. It shows the support of the loss that I suffered on the early mornings of October 11th. And that morning, and I lost my daughter, but I lost my best friend. I lost my only child. As a single father, I did the best to raise my daughter in 6 years. I gave up my life as a man to become a father. She was my partner in crime. She was my Friday night blockbuster date. Everywhere I went, she wanted to go. Whether it was at work, going for a walk, or just doing whatever I wanted to do, she wanted to be my daddy. She considered herself daddy's little girl. But that night, not only was my daughter's life taken, but there were 6 other girls who suffered a very terrible tragedy. One of those girls who happened to be one of my daughter's best friends is right here, Taylor. We were sitting in the back of that trunk when 3 girls were ejected out of the vehicle. And I consider this young girl as part of my life, the rest of my life. And it will be because, just not my daughter, but because of her and all those other girls in that car, that I will continue to fight for justice, that we toughen our laws on DWI, that this will never, ever happen again to any of our children from here on. On that night, one person decided that it was okay, not just to have a drink, but several drinks. Knowing she had to head back to the Bronx with 7 kids, all minors. Okay? Knowing that she had to get behind the wheel, drive all the way to the Bronx. And the insane part of it was, the games that she played in that vehicle, telling all these girls, raise your hand if you think we're going to crash. What was going through her mind? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And her defense attorney tells me she didn't know what she was doing. You gotta be kidding me. In her indictment, I was told by the DA the max that she was going to get was only 7 to 15. When I heard that, I accepted, okay, that's the law right now. But for me, 7 to 15 was a slap in my face. 7 to 15 years, who knows when she'll get out. She'll be able to get out one day. Hopefully she won't. She'll be there for a long time. But my daughter will never get to see her friends again. My daughter will never get to ride her bike. My daughter will never get to celebrate her sweet 16 or graduate from high school and reach her dreams of being a fashion designer that she talked about. And most of all, my daughter will never be able to say to me, I love you, Daddy. So this woman will need to spend a lot of time locked behind bars, because if my daughter can't enjoy life anymore, she doesn't deserve to enjoy life anymore. We need to take a stand now. not tomorrow, not next week, next month, or next year. We need to take a stand now to protect all our children. From everyone in the neighborhood to New York City, and from all politicians that have daughters, sons, nephews, and nieces, and grandchildren. Because it could be you that could be standing up here, going through the pain and sorrow that I'm feeling. And I want everyone to remember that. We need to unite. We need to be heard. Not just for my daughter's death, but also those young girls that were in that car. One who was still in the hospital with very severe injuries. Okay? We need to get very strict with these laws to make sure that none of our children will ever be in these situations again. You get in a vehicle driving while intoxicated, you need to be punished, and you need to be punished severely. We need to send a strong message out there as a community and as a city to make sure once again that this does not happen. It seems that people think it's a joke. They can have 1 or 2 drinks and say it's okay for them to get behind the wheel and drive the kids or anyone else home. You know what? You're fooling yourself. All right? You're in denial. This young woman thought she can do it. Nobody forced her to drink. She knew what she was doing. She knew she was taking all these kids back home to the Bronx. She drank, she partied. She knew when she got in that car, she could have gave the keys up to the gentleman that attempted to get the keys from her. But she refused to give the keys. So there's no one to blame in this accident but her. And by my God, he will seek vengeance and the wrath for my daughter and my family and her friends. So I ask all of you to help me to support for tough laws against DWI, which at this present time is a misdemeanor. It's got to be pushed to a felony. They need to pay for taking the lives of our children. My daughter always talked about being a star. She loved singing, she loved dancing, she loved being around her friends. She always loved to ask Daddy for money. She knew she was Daddy's girl. And right now my daughter's saying, Dad, protect my friends. Protect all the other children from this not happening again. And Dad, even though I'm not down here with you, I still can be installed through you. Make this happen. Let's push for Leandra's Law together.